Yeah, what's up everybody, Humble Extradol here! Welcome to the second part of the Prepare for Legacy Mode series. In this episode, I will be discussing what weapons I think will be good in Legacy Mode. Hopefully, this will help you decide what weapons are worth buying and investing in before Legacy Mode comes out, so you are ready to go on release day. Please note that I will only be covering level 60 weapons and higher in this episode. Also, Barrow's weapons and equipment will be discussed in a separate episode. Remember that I am only going off of what Jagex has released about Legacy Mode so far, as well as my own knowledge and ideas. Be cautious before spending any money based off things said within this guide. With that said, let's get into it. Dragon weapons were very popular prior to the evolution of combat because of their special attacks and their general usefulness at level 60 attack. It is very important to realize that Legacy Mode will have special attacks. Since dragon weapons are very cheap and come in many different forms such as a scimitar and a two-hander, dragon weapons are my recommendation for anyone between 60 and 70 attack. Assuming you have both the main hand and offhand dragon claw, they are the best dragon weapons in the game because they provide a critical hit bonus that other dragon weapons do not have. Therefore, they are my top recommendation for general use at 60 attack. If you do not wish to buy the dragon claws, since they are a bit higher priced than most dragon weapons, the difference will be very minimum and the weapon choice does not matter at that point. The dragon weapons then come down to personal preference and what the monster's weakness is that you are fighting. Also, if you want to use a shield, keep in mind that you will need to use a one-handed weapon. However, this is not where I limit dragon weapons. Knowing that there will be special attacks, previously popular items like the dragon dagger may be pretty useful again, especially in PvP. If you plan on PKing in Legacy Mode, it might not be a bad idea to invest in some dragon claws or dragon daggers, since these are likely to be the most used dragon weapon specials if they return as they were before EOC. The other less common PKing weapons that come to mind are the Dragon Halberd, Dragon Longsword, and Dragon Mace, but there are some more. Moving on, the Abyssal Whip was a very popular weapon in pre-EOC, but its popularity has greatly faded away. Without much competition at level 70 attack, the Abyssal Whip is not a bad choice considering how cheap it is at the moment. I recommend it for general use at level 70 attack, but it does not extend much further than that, and weapons get much more exciting at level 75 attack. It may be worth noting that the Abyssal Whip may once again become a staple weapon for PvP since they are cheap and decently high tier, so this is something to consider if you plan on PKing. They might make good investing items too, but this is hard to predict. Once you hit level 75 attack, a lot of weapon possibilities open up. I believe the main weapons will be God Swords, Zamorakian Spears, Abyssal Vine Whips, and Saradomin Swords. If you want to use a shield, the choice is simple. You will have to go with the Abyssal Vine Whip. However, without a shield in mind, the choice gets tricky. Possibly the most useful of the four will be God Swords because of their previous special attacks. Which God Sword you pick is up to what special you want and what your price budget is, since they vary in price. For general use, the choice won't make much of a difference, but the Armadyl God Sword will most likely be the most useful in PvP. With that said, my top recommendation is a God Sword unless using a shield. With a shield, go with the Abyssal Vine Whip. Other than that, pick the weapon that best fits your monster weakness. Zami Spear is Stab, Sarah Sword is Crush, Vine Whip is Slash, and God Swords are Slash. For level 80 attack, chaotic weapons become an option. The nice thing about chaotics are that they really do not currently have any level 80 competitors, and they are free to get if you just put the time into dungeoneering. Note that they are degradable and can be repaired. Chaotics will probably be a threshold weapon for many players since the next step up is DRYGORE weapons, which are very expensive. I recommend Chaotic Claws because of their added critical hit bonus, but the difference is very small compared to other chaotics. At that point, it comes down to what monsters you are killing and whether or not you want a shield. With the lack of competitors, I highly recommend chaotic weapons at level 80 attack. They will probably not be used in PvP since all items are dropped on death except for the protect item one, and they lack any special attacks. At level 90 attack, you once again only have one choice, DRYGORE weapons. If you have the money, they are great. I recommend the DRYGORE rapiers for bosses, the longswords for slayer and training, and the maces as a cheaper option. The main hand mace does have a nice prayer bonus, so that is something to consider. However, the overall difference is not very much at all. You probably won't see many Drygores in the wild because of how expensive they are, and they probably will not have any special attacks, but this is just a guess. If you do not have the money, just stick to chaotic weapons. Like chaotics, Drygores degrade and can be repaired. Hopefully this video proves useful to you and helps you pick your weapons when getting ready for Legacy Mode. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of the series, please leave a like rating and let me know in a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You can find my Twitter and Twitch links in this description of the video, and following me is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and peace out!